Hello everyone, welcome back. Let's continue with our FreeCodeCamp walkthrough on learning intermediate CSS by building this cat painting. Okay, so there's the final painting that we want to build using HTML and CSS. And so far, this is what we've been able to do with steps 1 to 60. So now let's continue in this video from step 61. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to use a class selector and give the cat mouth line left element a position of absolute. So first let's select the cat mouth line left, and then let's give it a position of absolute. Let's give it a top value of 88 pixels, a left value of 74 pixels. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to use the transform property and rotate the left mouth line by 170 degrees. So currently you see where it is now. Let's go ahead and transform or rotate it. So let's rotate it at an angle of 170 degrees. All right, now we have it at the right place as we want. So now let's work on the cat mouth line right. So first we're going to select it, cat mouth line right, and then let's give it a position of absolute. Let's also give it a top value of 88 pixels, a left value of 91 pixels, like so. So as you can see, this is the right line of the cat's mouth. So let's go ahead and rotate it so that it will be in position or in line with this one we have right here. So let's use the transform property, and we're going to use the rotate function and rotate that at an angle of 165 degrees. Okay, there we have it. Now we have our cat's mouth. All right, so now what's left to do is this fence here. Okay, so now let's work on the whiskers. So as you can see, there's going to be 6 of them. Okay, so 3 on the left and then 3 on the right. So let's get to work. First, we want to create a parent div that will contain all of the whiskers. So we're going to call it, or give it a class with the value cat whiskers. All right, now we want to create 2 divs. The first one is going to hold the 3 whiskers on the left. So we're going to call it, or give it a class with a value of cat whiskers left. I'm going to use the shortcut, which is hold Option and Shift and then press down. I'm just going to change this one from cat whiskers left to cat whiskers right. Next up, inside the cat whiskers left, let's create 3 div elements, and we're going to give them a class of cat whisker top, left top, middle, and then bottom. Okay, so let's create the first one. We have a div, and it's going to have a class with a value of cat whisker left top. Again, I'm going to use the shortcut, so I'm going to hold Option and Shift, or Alt and Shift if you're on Mac, if you're on Windows, sorry, and then press down. Okay, so I'm going to change this to left middle, and then I'll change this to left bottom. All right. Okay, there's something wrong. The first div element inside the cat whiskers left should have the class cat whisker left top. Okay, but that, oh yeah, there's a mistake. I brought this equal to sign. I don't know where it came from. Yeah, now this should work. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so now let's do the same thing for the right as well. So we have a div like so, and then let's give it a class of cat whisker top. Sorry, it should be cat whisker right top. Okay, once again, hold option and shift, or alt and shift, press down. I'll change this to middle and change this to bottom like so. Right, great. Now using a descendant selector to target the div element inside cat whiskers left. So first we'll say cat whiskers left, bring a space, and then we write div. So this is going to target all the div inside cat whiskers left. Okay, so let's give them each a width of 40 pixels, a height of 1 pixel, and then let's also give them a color of black, or with the hex code 000, which is black. Okay, so now if you look closely, you can see that the whisker is here behind the ear. All right, so let's move on, and in the next step we are going to position it properly. But for now, let's do the same for the cat whisker right. So we'll say cat whisker right, bring a space, and then div. To select all the divs, let's give it a width of 40 pixels. Let's give it a height of 1 pixel. Let's give it a background color of 000, like so. Okay, something. Yeah, cat whiskers, not whisker, so this should be plural. Okay. Okay, now we are on step 71. So using a class selector, move the cat whisker top left element into place. Okay, so let's do this. So we say cat whisker top left, sorry, left top rather, left top. Let's give it a position of absolute, a top value of 120 pixels to push it away from the top, and then let's give it a left value of 52 pixels, like so. So now, as you can see, we have the top whisker on the left in place. Okay, let's continue with the others. All right, now let's rotate this. So we'll say transform, rotate. We want to rotate it by 10 degrees. All right, so now as you can see, it's slanted slightly to the top. All right, so let's work on the middle and then bottom ones for the left. All right, so now work on the cat whisker left middle. Give it a position of absolute. Let's give it a top value of 127 pixels. Let's give it a left value of 52 pixels. Okay, as you can see, that one is also in position. Okay, we have two of them. Now let's work on the bottom one for the left. Okay. All right, before that, we want to rotate it by 3 degrees. So we'll say transform, use the rotate function and rotate it by 3 degrees. Okay, finally, let's work on the bottom. So we'll say cat whisker left button like so. Now let's do a position of absolute. Let's do a top value of 134 pixels, and let's do a left value of 52 pixels. Okay, so let's rotate it. So we use the transform property and the rotate function, and we are going to rotate it by -3 degrees. Okay, so now we are done with the left whiskers. Okay, now let's get to work on the right ones, and then we are done with our painting. So we're almost there. So keep going, and let's continue. So we say cut whisker right. Let's start with the top one. Let's give it a position of absolute, a top value of 120 pixels, then left value of 109 pixels. Okay, there we go. Now let's rotate it. So we say transform, rotate by 10 degrees, -10 degrees, sorry. All right, now let's get to work on the middle one. So we say cut whisker right middle. Okay, let's give it a position of absolute. Let's give it a top value of 127 pixels. Let's give it a left value of 109 pixels. Okay, now let's go to work rotating it. So we use the transform property and then the rotate function. Rotate it at an angle of -3 degrees. Okay, so now what's left is the last whisker, which is cut whisker right bottom. Let's also give it a position of absolute. Let's give it a top value of 134 pixels. And let's give it a left value of 109 pixels. Okay, so this should be position, not positioner. Yeah, position like so. Okay, now for our last steps, we want to rotate the right bottom whiskey at 3 degrees. So we use the transform property and the rotate function, and we want to rotate it at an angle of 3 degrees, like so. Okay, so there we have it. We have our cut, we have our left whiskers and the right whiskers, and that's it. We are done with building the cat painting. All right, thank you for following along. Like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.